Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, so I am playing along with Crystal Barrett of Pineapple Papers for her Off the Board series. Now, Off the Board is a series that she started last year, and we do it once a month now on the last Wednesday of every month. However, it is July, so she is doing an Off the Board video every single day this month. And some of us are joining in with her on some of the days, and I decided to join in on Wednesday. So I have these two photos that were taken in October 2019, and it's my hand basically cleaning. And then I had two quotes on my quote Pinterest board that I liked. The future belongs to the few of us still willing to get our hands dirty. And a leader with dirty hands is respected by all he leads. A manager with clean nails is the scorn of all who work under him. So I think I'm going to use this leader quote because one thing I always say is I would never ask my team to do something that I wouldn't do myself. So I think I'm going to use that quote. It's a little bit big for a title, but I am going to use the quote on here, and I'm going to be scrapbooking these photographs. So let's see what I can do. Okay, you guys, I'm going to start out with my papers. Now, these are thinner papers. They don't have the heft behind them like I'm used to, but sometimes you just use some papers because they're pretty, even if they don't have that thickness that you like. So I am struggling with my ATG. I do have bent tape rolls. The actual core of it is bent, so it definitely is a struggle to keep the ATG in the tape roll. I need to order new tape. I just haven't yet. So that needs to happen. So I'm going to put these two photos basically on the lower center of the page, and I'm going to cut out a 4x6 piece of this camera paper to put next to it, which is something you can always do if you don't have enough photos to span across your page. I do know that not everyone likes to scrapbook one or two photos per page. Some like to put as many photos as they possibly can. And hey, like whatever makes you happy, then do it. I used to scrapbook with a lot of photos on my pages, but I also used to take a lot more photos with a real camera. And these days, I am just using my phone camera. And quite frankly, my real camera is hanging from the tripod that is over my desk so that I can film as a weight counterbalance, which is pretty pathetic that that's what I'm using my camera for. It's not like a DSLR or anything like that, but that is what the camera is being used for. So yeah. I'm going to cut out some of these florals from this piece of paper. I am not going to make you watch me fussy cut for 5 minutes because that is how long it took me sped up to cut out the florals that I used to create two clusters. So you don't have to watch that. Remember, guys, when you're fussy cutting, you want to keep your cutting hand and your cutting wrist and arm as still as possible. You basically want to just open and close your hand as you're cutting with the scissors. You want to use your hand that you're holding the paper with to move the paper. So literally you are opening and closing your scissors and you're moving the paper within those scissor blades opening and closing, because that is what is going to give you the most smooth, fussy cutting as possible. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and magically have everything fussy cut. Look at that. Well, bam! All those flowers are cut. So my top cluster is basically tucked in behind the photos and the piece of paper with one little piece hanging out. And I did that on purpose. I like the way that that looks. Down here, though, at the bottom, I have a whole lot of white space in my photo. So I really don't care that I'm covering up a bunch of the white space in the photo. And I really, really have a desire to make these photos pretty. Like these are dirty photos. It's literally a dirty hand and a huge pile of mess on the floor. We just swept and picked up everything from all over the place, and it ended up in this one big pile. So we had that going on. I am going to play with my sticker sheet to see what I can bring in. At first I thought I was going to bring in this white floral sticker to give it a little pop of color, but I decided to go instead with a darker teal with this, oh, the word is failing me. It's like a measuring tape, ruler. Okay, any of those words will do, guys. You know what? Sometimes you just blank on words. Your mind just doesn't want you to express the thoughts that are in it. I don't know if it's a mind thing or a mouth thing. That's something to think about. Anyway, I am super tired today. I went to bed at 1 a.m. And then when my husband left at 5:30, he wakes me up to tell me goodbye. And I just couldn't fall back to sleep. And now I'm tired, but you know, the day has started and it is time to do things around the house, take care of business, and then head to work. So yeah, if you were wondering why I was up until 1 a.m., I do work until at least 11 o'clock every night. So then, you know, I come home, I decompress, and I head to bed. And, you know, sometimes I go to sleep right away when I come home and it doesn't take long to decompress. And sometimes you just got a lot going on and it takes longer to decompress to be able to fall asleep. So there is that. Anyway, back to the layout. I used up the last of my mirrored embellishments, which are these hearts that came from the Paper Studio. And then I'm going to pair it with some matte hearts from Rosie's Studio and just some white and pink. And I am doing varying sizes throughout the little heart areas that I have. And I was playing with getting that ruler tucked up underneath of the flowers. I'm okay with how it is setting on top over here. So I do pop dot up a little bit of the flowers that are up at the top here. And that's just to give them a little bit of lift because my flowers on the bottom are popped up on fun foam. Or as I saw Crystal was starting to call it, lazy foam. I am pulling out these thickers. Now these are older thickers. They're like a chunky font with a polka dot and I really like them. So I'm going to spell out dirty hands. I'm actually condensing the quote that I picked off of my board, so that it's just going to say, a leader with dirty hands is respected by all she leads. And I also changed it from he to she because, you know, I'm a lady, not a dude. And I'm okay that my thickers are literally over top of the photo of my dirty hand. I am totally okay with that. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. And I really think that, you know, this might seem like it's a fluff layout, but, and this would normally be something that would go in, that I might not take a picture of, or I might not actually scrapbook, but I'm finding that it is important to me more than ever to really scrapbook about my job and what I do. And even though I don't have a heck of a lot of journaling on this, and there's not going to be anything besides that, it's just showing that I do the dirty work at work as well. Like, you can look at this and see, yeah, she does the dirty work. And I just don't think that I should ever be asking my team to do something that I have not done or I will not do. That is super important to me. Because I think that when you are asking things of your team and you aren't doing them yourself or you haven't done it yourself, then that's just a recipe for disaster. People don't work for companies. People work for their managers. And I totally believe that. And I want my people to work for me, and I want my people to enjoy working for me, and I want my people to work hard for me. So I work hard for my people. I can't tell you how many days I come home from work and have to take a shower immediately because I am just a hot, sweaty mess. I expect a lot from my team, but I also feel like I give them a lot. And I would be hard pressed to find anybody that works on my team that would say, no, Sandy is a lazy bum. I just don't see it. They're not going to. And if somebody on my team does say that, they're a dirty, dirty liar. And that's the way I feel. Now, I'll probably get back to talking about team and work and all that kind of stuff. But these die cut with a view rhinestones tick me off to no end. So they're older. They're from 2014, and they are a pain in the butt to cut apart. They pop off. The adhesive gives out and pops off, and it's just a pain. So it was a struggle working to find ones that I could put all the way across. And then down at the bottom, they popped off, and I had to stick them down with some adhesive. And they're not as shiny where I have the adhesive, which is kind of disappointing because I did it with another layout, and you can't even tell the ones that I put down with liquid adhesive. So I'm hoping that maybe they're just not completely dry under there. Yeah, at least that's what I'm hoping. Now, these are some Tim Holtz gold rub-ons, and I got them at Tuesday morning, and you guys know that rub-ons give up after a while. These work pretty well, but they do give up a little bit. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. So back to actually having dirty hands at work. Like I said, I really think you do a disservice to your team if you are just barking orders and not putting in the work. And then there are some leaders that don't put in the work and they just say that they're leading the team. But I like to lead my team by working with them. And I really think that I've gained the respect of a lot of team members by doing that. And this layout just evokes a whole lot of feelings in me about leadership and leadership roles and what kind of leader I am and what kind of leader I strive to be and what kind of leader I hate having lead me and what kind of leader, I want to have leading me. My boss is my store director, and she, leads and delegates, but she also gets in there when the time is needed and works. And I appreciate that. She doesn't sit in an office all day. Now, there are times where she has to be in an office and sitting down and doing that kind of thing. Just like everyone does. Everyone has computer work they got to do. Everyone has this kind of thing they got to do. But it's super important to me to actually work with the team. It just always has been. So anyway, back when I worked for the Wellness Center, we had we were disked, which basically is the kind of leadership style you are. And I'll tell that story another day because the layout is finished. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about work things, and I will see you again real soon for another video.